Hello, everybody.
Hey, good day, everyone. It's your favorite coaches.
It's Howard.
And LaRhonda Johnson.
It's his.
Plus hers.
Equals ours. You see it. You see it. Man, make sure y'all get y'all shirts ASAP.
Yes, go ahead and order it. Just go to www.hlcoaching.coach. And you have our coaching program on there, and you have our clothing line or our merch line, which is called HLC Merch Shop. So go and shop. Shop, shop, shop.
So we want to just holler at y'all real quick. We want to talk about being courageous in your relationship.
Yeah, and being courageous means taking out the anxiety and fear that you may have going to into a new relationship or wanting to be in a relationship. Maybe you've been divorced or just been in bad breakups, but going back into it, or already in a relationship, but you're trying something new, like you want to do better.
You got to be courageous in your relationship in order to make sure, and even just in your life, to make sure that you can be vulnerable to the right people. When you're in a relationship, a serious, committed relationship, you have to be able to be open and vulnerable to your spouse or your significant other in order to make sure that they know who you are. And a lot of times we don't really want anybody digging deep and really finding out who we are. But when you're going into a committed relationship and you know you're going to be with someone for quite some time and you're looking into getting married or you are already married, it would behoove you to let yourself be open more, because it will allow your partner to be open more, and it will also allow each one of you to see where you're coming from and why you think certain ways and do certain things, and it gives them a clue into your mannerisms and who you actually are.
So you're probably asking, like, okay, or you may be saying to yourself, like, I want to be vulnerable. I want to be open. I want to tell the person that I'm with, like, what's in my head and how I'm feeling. And so how does that start? It starts with trust. So once you know that you trust that person, that you can trust them with just like the little things, like maybe just telling them about your day and you being open and they not thinking like, oh, you just overreacting. Or just telling them about like, I'm not feeling well, or I'm sick, or just telling them a little bit snippet about maybe stuff that happened to you in your past, and they're able to like console you, talk to you, and be able to help work you through whatever is going through, like that support team. So when you know that person supports you no matter what, even if you're going off into like a new venture, like you want to start a new career, or you want to do something like a, what they call them? Like a hobby. And they definitely support you. When you know you have that support and you can trust that person, begin to open up yourself. Begin to open your mind. And this is what we teach and talk about in our coaching program, our 8-week coaching program. We teach you how to get to that point where you're changing your mindset about things. Like all this stuff that may be in your head that you know will help you in your relationship, help you to be a better you, help you to be more open where your spouse or your significant other understands you.
Hey, I don't want y'all to get it twisted like this is going to happen overnight. Yeah. Because we still have certain issues when it comes to telling each other about how we feel physically, because we don't want the other one to worry about us, you know. And this is some of the things that, you know, regardless, the older you get, the more you need to open your mouth. Like, really, you need to open your mouth anyway. But the older you get, there are certain things that affect your body that your spouse needs to know about. Also, like, to have that trust and that, I guess, good camaraderie to begin with in the relationship, you have to have open communication. And a lot of people are not very communicable, if I can say it like that, or they don't really like to speak and talk about certain things because they feel vulnerable. Hey, be courageous. Talk. like, you never really get to know somebody until you talk to them. I mean, you can go off of people's body language all day. You can try to figure out, through like, I guess, mental telepathy or something, what they're thinking. But that's not how that works. When you're in a relationship, obviously, fellas, we have the issue of our wives or our girlfriends telling, hey, what am I thinking? Or putting us in a position where we're supposed to know what they are thinking. That's not the case. So we have to openly communicate, like, hey, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand. What are you looking for? Honestly, it takes a real man to be able to be vulnerable. And it takes a real man to be courageous enough to treat his wife or his girlfriend or his spouse the right way. There is a lot of misconceptions about how men are supposed to be extra machismo all the time. How about we do that when it's time for that, but also be able to be courageous enough to have a softness and a compassion about us to be able to be open for our partner.
Yeah, we've said this if you watched our videos before, but it doesn't take anything from the man. Like, we've learned that and we have realized that and we know that now. Like, it doesn't take anything from him. It doesn't take none of his manhood.
I felt like it did.
Yeah, at times. But it doesn't take anything away from him. He's still a strong man. He's still courageous. And matter of fact, with him being more transparent and vulnerable and more open to communication, it allows me to, as a woman, as his wife, to have more compassion to, like, those days when he's just feeling like, I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like, or just giving him that space, things that he need, or just knowing how to be there for him during that time where he's like not having a good day, or maybe it is something that's on his mind that he's dealing with stress. And I know as women, we deal with a whole bunch of stuff in our head. We deal with a whole bunch of stuff taking care of household, just being a woman in general. But what I have come to know and realize as a woman is that everything that we carry, that the man carries too, especially when we express to them how we're tired, how we are frustrated for today. Maybe, because we do multiple things within the house. And so when we deal with that, most men, I should say, and I would say my husband, but most men, even if they don't tell you, that they like taking it all in, and sometimes they don't know how to change that, turn that off to help you because they've never seen that before. So it doesn't mean that they may be insensitive. Some men may be insensitive. But if you know your man and like, okay, maybe he's not doing this on purpose and he try to help out from time to time. He just don't know how to do it. He don't know how to necessarily help you with the cooking, the cleaning, the helping with the kids and all these different things the way that you know how to do it. Maybe he just haven't seen that before. So guess what, ladies? It's okay. Tell your man how you want him to support you so that both of you can be courageous in your relationship and in your marriage to change it to where you want it to be.
And fellas, do the same thing. Tell your wife, your girlfriend, how you need them to support you. Because our support, is different. We, like my wife said, when she takes on all these things and I see it and I feel it, I don't necessarily let it out or let her know, but I pay attention to everything. And she'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, like, how did you know that? I was like, because I pay attention. She'd be like trying to test me. Hey, I know we've all been tested. Sometimes. And be like, did you hear what yeah, baby, you just blah, 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 blah. And you was like, oh, you was paying attention. So, and ladies, please, cut your man just a little bit of slack. If you feel like he's not paying attention, but then he rattles off everything you just said to him, he was already paying attention. He was just multitasking. And that's the, we just encourage everybody to be, just that person they need to be for their spouse. And a lot of times you don't know who you need to be. And that's the reason why it behooves us to open up, be courageous.
Yes. So take out the fear and anxiety and the miscommunication. You take all those things out and begin to build on it, to write it down, to talk about it, what you want in your relationship, and you come to a happy medium to have that balance, then your marriage and your relationship would grow tremendously. Like, it would just continue to grow and grow and grow, and you'll be thinking to yourself, like, why wouldn't you do this a long time ago?
I feel like that because now where me and my wife are at in our relationship, we are best friends, and I never knew what that felt like early on in our relationship because I was too busy trying to make friends out of people who didn't want to necessarily be my friend, or they weren't the right friend for me. It ain't that they weren't a friend
or a good person,
mm-hmm. Right? But then I've had some crummy people also that have been in my life that I was like, man, look, I could do so much better by shooting myself in the foot than having you around me. And I mean, that's real talk because, like, if somebody is anchoring you down and they're not being what you need them to be, and that's not saying that you're going to use them. It's saying that everybody plays a role in your life. And you have to sometimes be courageous enough to tell people when it's time to go bye-bye. But if you're doing the things that you need to do in order to grow, eventually they're going to fall off anyway. It's just like coming into springtime. You see the buds come up on the trees and then they start falling off. You get all these little petals and stuff on the floor, on the ground. And then you start seeing leaves sprout. And then you start seeing flowers sprout. That's how you grow. And then you go through seasons just like that too. Take your courage right along with you. Be courageous enough to stand up for yourself. Be courageous enough to be open and vulnerable to your spouse or your significant other. And also be courageous enough to tell yourself no sometimes.
And be courageous enough to get the help that you may need to reach your goal. As I said before, some people just don't know how to get there. They get stuck. They don't know they know what they want for it to look like. They just don't know how to get there. So be courageous enough to get the help that you need to get you from here to there. And yes, we do have that for you. We do have an 8-week workshop or 8-week coaching sessions for you. And each week we're talking to you, checking in up to an hour each week. But you are definitely every week are going to be challenged on the things that you are working towards. Everything. So we have our whole program laid out. We do customize it based on maybe something that you want to focus on more. So we will go ahead and focus more on that, but we will challenge you. We will give you homework. And we tell every couple or every individual that may come to us, even as just individuals, is that it's going to be hard work. It's going to be mindset changing, and it's going to be, but it's awesome. So much transformation in such a short period of time.
Hey, if you're not ready for this, get ready.
It's like boot camp.
Because it is definitely like boot camp. Like we told y'all many times over and over again, we don't pull no punches. And we are not the type to sit here and stroke your ego and candy coat things for you. If you are wrong, guess what? We're going to tell you you're wrong. And show you how to correct it. Exactly. We're not going to beat you up. It's not about beating you up. It's all about improvement, self-improvement, improvement in your marriage, being able to improve on your communication skills, being able to improve in just the way that you look at yourself. A lot of times people have issues and troubles in their marriage because they look at themselves a certain way. Mm-hmm. So, in order to get past that, you have us.
Yes, definitely have us as your favorite coaches. LaRhonda
and Howard Johnson.
Yes, and we are your relationship and self-help coaches.
And don't forget to go to the website.
Yes, which is www.hlcoaching.coach. And
Book you a
click,
session.
yes, the 30-minute free session. That's for the first consultation. So if you are this is your first time consulting us about coaching, go ahead and just click on that link, and it says services, and then there you go. So you can do it either by that or our homepage. However, you will get there, and you would go ahead and get one of us or both of us, depending on if you want to do it as a couple or as individuals.
So fellas, you ain't got to worry about it being all feminine heavy. You got the balance. The balance of HL coaching.
Or fellas, you don't have to worry about the woman being another woman, mom, or another female trying to tell me something.
Mothering you. Yeah,
yes.
You ain't got to worry about that.
So we love you all. Thank you so much for your love and your support. Please love, like, share our video. Follow us so that you can get and hit the notification so that you know when we are on. So we will post weekly. I would say we will try to post weekly on Wednesdays at noon and Saturdays at noon. That's Eastern Standard Time.
We love y'all.
And we will talk with you later.
Later.